Oh, he got traded to the Rockets, and then wow. Well, wow, that the Spurs could grab him. I know we were looking at him. That's weird, though, isn't it? Let's see. You're going Boya. Let's see. That's actually pretty shocking. Next wave trim roster. Wait, no, this is from September 9th. Uh, when did this happen? Does anybody know when this happened? When did this happen? What's up, Andrew? Oh, like 10 minutes ago? Oh, Sham? Okay. Let's see. You said Sham, huh? What a sham. Alright. Huh. Oh. The Rockets will wave. Wow. That's really weird. I feel like a lot of people want him. He's 20 years old and was the youngest player in the draft. What's up with these exceptions for players nowadays? He didn't even play 100 NBA games yet. NBA execs every time they get him. That's pretty bad. We can cut Aminu. Dude, wouldn't that be sick? What if we cut Aminu? What if we cut Aminu and then we grab Booyah? Boo ha ha. Boo ha ha. Class house clan house class going. Oh man, we don't even have class this week. All right. Give me a second. Yes. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Guys, I'm gonna have Impeccable on tonight while we look at these post games. Let me tell him. Let me tell him something. I'm gonna change his role in the Discord so he can go to the special guest column. Uh, where are you, Impeccable? Here he is. Let me add him to special guest. All right, now let me tell him. I said, okay, just join the special guest voice when you're ready. That sounds good, don't it? Kyrie got to get the vaccine. Look, Kyrie weird, bro. I'm not shocked. Can I say something? This might be a hot take, okay? Let me say something about Kyrie. I know Spurs. Yeah, we're gonna get into all the Spurs stuff, but let me say this about Kyrie. He's not that smart. Like, I know that he kind of has this thing now where some people call him smart, or like he's like a genius or a free thinker or all this. Not really, bro. He's just a contrarian. That's all Kyrie is a contrarian. Anything you say, like anything you do that's publicly publicly accepted or a scientific consensus, Kyrie will come in and say something different. He's just a contrarian. That doesn't make you like smart or someone that looks outside of the box. No, you're just a contrarian. Nothing smart about that. Yeah. Wait, what? Yo, how can I hop on the chat with you guys? What do you mean? Oh, to react? Hold on. I got him. Hold on. It's Andrew want to react. He deserves it. Hold on. I'll new role. Just join the what's it called? Special guest voice channel. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Andrew, let me change Andrew's stuff. Special guest. There we go. All right, what's up, Impeccable? Can you hear me? Nah, you can't hear me yet. I seriously got a feeling if we keep this BS on Trey Jones for Kyrie, that would be a good. Oh, yo, what's up, dude?
Hey, Glenn, what's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Hold on, I actually got Andrew coming in here too. I was gonna try to keep it at 2, but it looks like he want to join in, so that would be cool.
Well, that's okay. 3 Musketeers, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me. Should I just do a pop out? Yeah, I'm just gonna do a pop out. Yeah, man. How everything going with you?
Can't complain, besides like college, the general college thing.
Yeah, college really sucks. College really does.
Yeah. Especially because I'm majoring in legal studies, so it's just a lot of reading, but it's fine.
I feels you, man. I feels you. What's up, Andrew?
Yo.
All right, let me see how I can do this. So
wait.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Man, nothing much. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. I'm a little intimidated. Nice. Both of you guys' voices are like stupidly deep. Hold on, let me see something. Okay. So let's do some reacts. So have you guys watched any of the post game stuff?
No, I waited.
Oh, you
good?
Nah, he got it.
Yeah, no, I was waiting on actually the stream till tonight to see any. I wanted to get a fresh reaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. What about you, Andrew?
I saw a Primo interview. That's about it. But
okay,
man, Primo's nice. I love him.
Okay. Well, for me, I literally only seen the like some quotes on Twitter. Like I haven't really watched any of it. I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, you know what? They're out there. And it's only like even the chat can correct me. There's only 3, right? Like there's only Popovich, DJ, and Primo, because I don't see any other ones.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Does the chat know? DJ line. Somebody let me know. I think those are the only 3. Like I'm on Ken's 5 right here, and all I see is Popovich, Dejounte, and Primo, and they only talked to him for about 3 minutes. Not even 3 minutes. Yeah. These might be it. Let me see. I'm wondering how you guys can hear me, or hear the thing.
I just got it on watching your YouTube.
Oh, okay. I guess it's not that much. I don't know. How much latency is it?
Oh, yeah, the delay. Yeah.
It might not be that bad. We'll try it. All right, let's start with Greg Popovich. I really want to know what Greg Popovich has to say, so let's get it. Okay. All right, Greg Popovich. Impressed by aggression, and I'm sure an ad going to come up. Hold on. All right, let's see. He's impressed by aggression and teamwork Spurs showed in dominant preseason win over Jazz. Okay.
Will be your canvas.
Yeah.
About your team's defensive activity, especially in the first half. What I was interested mostly was to see what kind of carryover we'd have from the practices, and I was pleased with that. I thought a lot of guys tried to do what we've talked about at both ends of the court, so that was good. Their effort, their aggressiveness lasted for the whole 48, and that was impressive also. When we finally started making some shots, that was even more impressive, but overall, I think it was a good outing. Obviously they didn't have all their guys, so don't get too excited. But it was a very good effort by a lot of guys.
I think even Pop is a little surprised. I don't think Popovich saw this coming.
He has to be like the performance they put on, even though preseason, but man, they look great out there.
Yeah, because I just have a hard time believing that Pop just like saw this coming. Because I don't know, man. I know that he was pretty excited like during the practices. Like Pop was pretty hyped for it. But yeah, the work that they put out. Actually, were you guys even able to watch the game? I didn't get to catch it until the second half of the first quarter. Like it was so hard to
try out oh my bad. I had to like try out 4 different strains to finally get it working.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah, just about the same. I had to try like I think 3 different ones, and I finally found one. I was like, okay.
Good lord, dude. Yeah, it took forever. Like even on stream, it just took forever. And then TSR couldn't find anything. Like I think I don't even know if he ended up watching the game. He might have just been listening the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, so Popovich seems pretty excited, but he also said, they were missing some guys, but I don't know. I think they're even going to surpass Popovich expectations. Let me see.
Early on, the offense was really doing well. They had some open looks. They were just missing.
yo, Clint, I got a question for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, what's up?
So, like, how do you feel about the NBA page not having the full game highlights for the Spurs?
Oh, see, I'm not that, like, I know a lot of people are pretty upset about it. I'm not that shocked. I mean, they do that all the time. Like, I don't know how many times they've done that to us. But then again, bro, I mean, we couldn't even find the game. Like, because somebody in the chat said you could use the Spurs app, but man, that wasn't even working for me. Like the live thing was on there, and I guess they caught that a lot of people outside the area was using it or I don't know, because it just disappeared. Like after a while, that stream section just disappeared on the app. So I don't know. A lot of people couldn't even find the game, and I find it weird. Like we're talking about the NBA, but did the Spurs even post a full 10-minute highlight? I don't even think they did. Did they?
I can check real quick.
Yeah, I don't even think they did. So it's not even like I can just like crap on the NBA. Like I don't even think they did. I don't know. While you searching that, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this.
It was just like a minute 30 video. So, yeah.
Yeah, a minute video. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. All right, let's get through this. You see, 55 seconds. All right, let's see what Pop got to say.
They hit the open man. Pace was real good. The ball moved. People moved. Just the way we need to play. So that was very fine.
What are your thoughts on Josh's composure at that?
Oh, they bringing up Josh Primo.
Well, would as opposed to, what do you want him to jump up and down when he made a shot, or do the Carmelo thing or something?
What did you think of that?
He was fine. I mean, he's a respectful young kid.
Bro, what if Pop did that? What if Pop did the Carmelo thing when Primo hit a 3? Dude, that would be so sick. Oh my God, that would have been so sick. That would have been so gangster. Dude, I love it so much.
He made shots.
How about Jock, his first outing?
Yeah, he was fine. All the guys played well.
And then just the lift that Drew gave you when he came in, shooting and defense as well.
Yeah, Drew, his physicality is huge for us. He's a better scorer than people think, and obviously his aggressiveness and his just regular grunt out there is pretty exemplary, to say the least. Just who he is.
It's pretty cool and refreshing to see Popovich actually give Drew Eubanks some love. I feel like Drew Eubanks doesn't get enough love from people.
From anybody.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough love. Like, because honestly, if we're talking about our big man who has the most like exciting plays, I would say it's Drew Eubanks. Like, easy. Like I don't know how many times I've seen him poster somebody. I don't understand teams going at him sometimes. Like it's like a lot of people believe they can get a easy dunk on him. I don't know why. I mean, he's not Aaron Baines. Like he will block you. But yeah, I love what Papa's saying, and he does have an underrated shot. I mean, he doesn't shoot, but I mean, even Chip England said that he can be the best shooter, or at least one of the best shooters on the team if he gives the opportunity. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Drew Eubanks? You think he should get like a lot of playing time, or like where are you at with it?
Yeah, like I low-key feel bad because like I was on that boat to get rid of him this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, he deserves to stay. You know, he competed with Jakob, and I know how you say Jakob has like sneaky athleticism.
Yeah.
But I can't see him jumping over a phone book. You know, like Drew is athletic compared to Jakob. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Drew's definitely more athletic. What were you saying, Paco? My bad.
No, yeah. I was I've never really been the biggest believer in Drew, personally, and that's not even as an insult to Drew. My biggest thing with Drew is that, you know, he's a bit undersized.
Yeah.
But what is undersized right now in the NBA? But the one thing that's always been really inspiring when it comes to Drew is that he's always so motivated and he plays with such a determination just to do something. Like, I never see him like shy away from trying to do something, whether it's a block, a dunk. He's always trying to keep up the tempo, and I'm happy that he's getting more opportunity right now. I think that this is going to be a season in which we see more of what Drew Eubanks can actually do.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. Here's the thing, like I just saw somebody Infinite in the chat said he has to be able to shoot better than Lindell. I don't think he can do that. I don't think he'll have to shoot better than Jock Lindell. Like I'll be completely honest. I love what I saw from Jock, but right now I would say that Drew Eubanks does a lot of things better than Jock Lindell. At least right now. Like he's a better defender, more athleticism. He's a little bigger, seems a little stockier. Jock Landale puts it all on the court, but Jock Landale right now, as it stands, he is a stretch big, and that's primarily what he is. I don't think that Drew Eubanks is going to be competing for a position with Jock Landale. Another thing, too, there's no way, after seeing this last game, there's no way I can see Jock Landale run center consistently unless you're just doing straight up small ball. He's way too small. I didn't expect him, even though he's labeled as 6'11", he did not look six, or is it 6? Is 6'11", 6'10"? I think 6'11", right? Yeah. He didn't look 6'11". Like to me, he looked like 6'10", maybe 6'9.5". Like he did not look 6'11" to me. I couldn't tell what it was, but I was like, you look smaller than I expected, which is fine. I mean, you're a stretch, but I mean, I don't even think they're going to be in the same field of like who's fighting for minutes. I feel like you're going to need Drew Eubanks no matter what, because he's going to have to run the center position. Everybody else is basically a power forward. Like if you're talking Luka, Jock Lindell, or Zach Collins when he gets here, they're all power forwards. I don't know. What do you think? You think he's going to have to compete with Jock, or?
Compete is an odd word to use there. I mean, I guess so. I mean, he's not going to be the only guy competing this year for a position. I think that position of bench big or bench center is really up for grabs. So I didn't really want to say, because I think they'll both have minutes per se.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Jock and Drew both have minutes per se. I guess so. I guess they're gonna have to compete with each other. I guess we're gonna see who just fits more at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think right now, just how it stands, I mean, as far as who fits more, I would say it's Drew, just because he's been here for so long. Jock Landale though. That lineup, I don't know if you remember, it was kind of a short period of time, but it was a lineup in which they had, let me try to remember exactly who it was. It was Dejounte Murray, Devin Vassell was out there. Lonnie Walker was out there. Keldon Johnson was out there, and then it was Jock Landale. And that was a good lineup, but everyone played phenomenal defense, like on the outside. But then Jock Landale looked not lost. He didn't look lost because he played fundamentally good defense, but he just looked like they could really. It just looked like they could have really took advantage of that paint with him in it. He's just too small. I think when it's all said and done, if you continuously play good defense, put your hands up, be in the right place, hold your ground, you'll be okay. So I don't see him out there like swiping and going crazy, and his defense is good, so you'll get more calls in your favor than not. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's even a comparison right now. Like Jock Landale, I'd see way more from him. I think Drew Eubanks kind of earned that position. And yeah, I mean, Pop loves him, so I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Do you
What's up?
think that Jock is competing with Doug McDermott more with minutes, or Drew Eubanks, since he's like the 4?
Jock Landale?
Yeah, do you think?
That's a tough one. Here, I'm gonna look at our roster real quick. Cause yeah, we got so much depth.
If you have Jock at that 4, then like, where does it leave Doug?
Yeah, let me see. Spurs roster 2021-22. Is this one gonna be a good one? Should I look at it this way? Okay. All right. Let's look at our forwards. So we got Aminu, who's not gonna stay. See, here's a question. We got Thad Young there too. I do not know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Dad.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they grabbed Dium. What? How do you say his name? Can somebody tell me how to say his name? Dium.
Who?
The one who just got traded. And
Dumboya?
Yeah, Dumboya. Okay. Yeah, it would be cool if they get Dumboya. He's a power forward or small forward.
He's a power forward, but he's like he's an ultra tweener. He can convincingly play a 4, 5 in small ball lineups and a 3.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see something. I want to look at this too. Let's look at the Spurs preseason stats.
I heard that Sekou wasn't even that good for Detroit though. Like, he got cut and he's like 20. So
yeah, he's 20.
sure.
Was he even? I heard that he was getting like criminally unused. Is that?
Okay.
I don't watch Detroit, but that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
He is for sure.
Okay.
He never really had. Funny enough, he never really had a shot in Detroit. Really, not like an honest like. You can go ahead and do what's good for your offense, and mainly that's because of Jeremy Grant exploding last year.
Mm-hmm.
He never really got that opportunity to really show what he has, and that was the main thing I remember. I remember the Spurs are actually scouting, and this actually kind of plays into why they're interested in him right now. The Spurs were looking at drafting him in the same draft as Zion.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what draft class year that was. But they were interested in drafting him, and the Pistons took him in front of us, of course. So, and one of his main complaints that people have for him was he's a bit raw, but if given time and opportunity, he can really pay off for a team. He really hasn't had the opportunity yet.
Oh, okay. And I
think he was. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna jump over to back to what Andrew was asking. I was just looking at the stats for preseason. No, Drew Eubanks isn't gonna be competing with Doug McDermott. Honestly, even in this lineup, like, these numbers are really good. Like, I think Popovich already said that he doesn't want anybody getting an excessive amount of minutes. We could very well see like the numbers looking kind of like this as far as minutes. Like, Dejounte obviously will probably have some more, and Derek White will have some more. Maybe Keldon have a few more minutes more, but we might see something like this minus Bates and minus Wieskamp. As far as Drew Eubanks, he's a power forward. Doug McDermott, he played power forward, but how many small forwards do we even have? Because he's probably going to be more so a small forward. We only have Keldon at small forward. So
you could run Devin at small forward. I don't really like playing Devin 3, but you could.
Oh, and he's 6'7" now. So
Yeah, he grew.
yeah, he's 6'7" now. Yeah, you could do that. I don't know.
He grew and gained a bit of weight, so you
Yeah,
could play him at the 3.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well,
Yo, do you think that Lonnie should be worried about Primo?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
I think honestly,
When I saw the Primo pick, I was like, okay, well, that's not really a problem for. It depends on where you want to even play Primo. I think he's more of a shooting guard. And you're not picking a guy that high in the lottery just for them to end up being a bench guy. Let's be honest here.
Hey guys, keep talking. I'm about to talk to my mama real quick.
That is true. But I don't know. Primo has like some point guard in him. Like the way he can bring up the ball. I don't know.
I mean, and that's the thing. Primo's a combo guard. You could convincingly play him at the point guard or shooting guard position, and you're not really suffering that much for it. Which really begs the question, okay, if that's the case, what kind of lineups are you going to throw out there? Who ends up starting? Because at this point, and that was actually a question I was going to bring up later on. I don't know if I want to actually even bring up now. Because our guard depth is so deep right now that really and truly, all of these guys are competing for their positions on the team, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, besides Dejounte and Derek, who we know are going to get those minutes and going to get those that playing time, you have, like, a contingency of, like, 5 to 6 other guys who play guard positions who are going to have to fight for minutes as the first guard off the bench or the first point guard off the bench, the first shooting guard off the bench. And then there's going to be guys left out of that.
Can I say something?
It's kind of iffy.
Can I say?
Yeah, because I know last night there was a rotation with like Brand at point guard, Primo at shooting guard.
Oh, crap, they can't hear me.
I forgot it was small forward, but like
okay.
It was like much.
I don't know why.
Like the flow was much better with Primo
when
he had the ball in his hands, but you know it's the preseason, so.
Then I stop it.
Whatever.
They can't hear me. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. I was on the phone with my mom. I'm back now. Yeah, I was gonna try to answer like your question, Andrew, as far as like should Lonnie be worried. I didn't want to talk about it, but I'll be completely honest. Yes, I agree with my boy Impeccable, because the thing is with Josh and Lonnie, unfortunately, they kind of play the same role. Like, it's not that they're the same position, because I think when it's all, well, no, they kind of are the same position. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Primo will be much bigger. He looked kind of bigger than Lonnie out there. I don't know. That just been me being biased because I love Primo so much. But yeah, I think he should be a little worried. But not just him. I think a lot of players on the team should be a little like, I think Josh Primo has shown, like, obviously he hasn't done anything yet, but just in these last few or this last game, and then through summer league, he's had that it factor, and I don't think anyone else has it who can shoot with ease like that, other than maybe like Devin Vassell. Like, so I think that a lot of people are kind of in trouble. I mean, even his playmaking ability, he's starting to look like he could run point guard. So I don't know, but having a guy like that who's a switch army knife, you're in good shape. And as far as like, should he be worried? I don't know if he should necessarily be worried this season, because I think Lonnie Walker will get his opportunity. But Lonnie Walker really is going to have to step it up if he wants to come back. I think the Spurs will bring him back, but Lonnie wants to get paid, or he needs to get paid. At this point in his career, you want to get out of that rookie contract and get your money. But I don't know, man. I don't know. They might let him walk if he doesn't step up. But I don't know. We'll see. I think Lonnie Walker has improved his game like crazy. I don't know if it seems like nobody really noticed that, but he has improved. Have you seen that?
Who, Lonnie?
Yeah.
I think Lonnie's more comfortable doing what he does best, which is shot creation. It's just shot creation, obviously. He looks a bit more fluid. That was the number one thing I took away from last night's game with him. looks a lot more fluid just with the ball in his hands and off ball too. So those drills that he was doing over the summer may help, but time will tell how much he's actually improved because Lonnie's always been a promise guy.
Yeah, and in the chat, American Warrior, Lonnie needs his defense to go up. No, his defense was actually really good last night. I don't know if you were able to watch it, but his defense was actually really good. Here's the thing with Lonnie, like it's one of those stat lines where if you went and watched the stats, you would have, or looked at the stats after the game and didn't watch the game, you would have said, wow, Lonnie was terrible. But if you watched the game, Lonnie technically looked as good as he's ever looked. Like he was creating a lot of space. He was playing great defense. He was making the playmaking plays that he needed to play. He was facilitating well. I think the only thing that was wrong with Lonnie was he was just missing his shots. And I think that's a matter of him just trying to show off some things that he's been working on and just trying it out. And it's definitely there. I'll say this. I bet you that the Spurs staff and, you know, Lonnie's trainer and whatnot, I'm pretty sure they're laid back and they're like, yeah, you did exceptionally well. We just need to, I don't know, work on your release or something. I think Lonnie be better off if he starts off games, get into the rim, and then start warming up from there, because he is not a pure scorer at all. Like, at all to me. Another thing to keep in mind, too, I didn't even bring this up. Josh Primo, even though he looks so good, you got to keep in mind that the Spurs aren't really running, like, a lot of plays right now. Like, they're just kind of playing basic basketball, you know, pass the rock, stay in motion, which he doesn't look lost out there, but then again, they're not doing anything complex. And I think as the season goes on, Pop gonna have to add some of his juju with the team, but I don't know. Yeah, the question, to answer it, I went on a long rant. Yeah, I think Lonnie should be a little worried, but maybe not, you know, this season. He just has to step up throughout this season so he doesn't have to worry about it next season. But this season, I don't see a world where Lonnie is sitting and Devin Vassell is just completely playing over Lonnie Walker. I don't see that happening. But I am starting to see that I think Josh Primo will get minutes in, like, actual games. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
He should.
Yeah, I think
he definitely should.
Yeah,
I think he's proved it.
Yeah. I think he should. I think it will be kind of bogus. This will be one of those situations where I would side with Spurs fans and saying that's BS if he doesn't get to play. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. All right.
Yeah, he should be in by the first half. Like, he should be in. Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Okay. Let's finish up this Popovich interview or whatnot. All right, let's see.
He plays like, I always tell him, he's like a poor man's Dave Cowens. I don't know if anybody
That's a new hear me out, okay? Dave Cowens. All right.
remembers David, but
Yeah, I'm doing
just,
that.
Bust his ass every minute on the court and give everything, and that's what he does.
Does Drew remember Dave Cowens?
Hell no. I've said it to him before. I actually gave him a film last year to look at it, so you'd see, the famous one when he's on his belly sliding across the floor after the loose ball. That's what I want you to do every time.
Yeah, but Dave Cowens didn't shoot threes like Drew does.
No, well, they didn't do that much. Yeah, that's right.
That's it. Pop was very pleasant with the reporters after this game. Also, I did not realize how much Popovich liked Drew Eubanks. I wouldn't have guessed. I didn't know he liked Drew Eubanks like that. Like, I don't see a lot of interactions between Pop and Eubanks, nor did Drew even get much playing time. What was his playing time last season? Hold on.
He was maybe getting, if I remember correctly, he was maybe getting around 7 to maybe at most 12 minutes a game.
Huh.
Was not a lot of, he was not getting that many minutes at all.
Yeah. Let me see. Recent games. Let me bring it up. Let's see. Minutes. Okay, so the last month, I'm starting to see a trend here. I feel like Devin Vassell got some pretty good minutes at the last month too. So last month of the season, you see he had 22 minutes, then 12, 22, 13, 13, 10, 14, 13, 23, and then 9. Huh. And then, yeah. Huh. Yeah, it looks like the trend, you're about right. It was probably an average of what, like 15, 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting a ton of opportunity, but you know.
Yeah. Let's see. He averaged 14 minutes per game. That's not terrible, but yeah, I mean, it barely went up from the season before. But he played way more games. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Drew. But we definitely going to see some 3-point shooting, which that should be pretty nice. Wait, what? I told you Drew needs to be on your topic list. I've talked about Drew Eubanks before, haven't I? Did I never talk about Drew Eubanks?
Clan, do you know if this is like a contract year for Luka or?
Luka Samanic?
Yeah.
Man, he's a really weird place, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's best to play for him.
Yeah, he's in a weird place.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's in a very weird place. I would not want to be him right now if I were him. Because, you get drafted to a situation in which nobody really plays your position. And, I mean, I hate to put it like this, but you let a guy who's traditionally a shooting guard end up starting over you at the power forward position in Keldon.
Yeah.
And you're still not getting any minutes, and it's about to be year 3 for you. And it's not even a guarantee that you'll even see the floor more than 8 to 10 minutes a game. I would say that's a really uncomfortable spot for him to be in right now.
Well, right now, he got 2 more, right? 2 more years, this year and the next year. Honestly, I'll say this. I think after this season, I could be wrong, but I think Luka might need a little more development, at least another season worth of development. And I think it's he'll get some minutes this season, but I think it's a nice little, how can I explain it? Like, it's a nice little safety net, I think, having Luka right now. Because, like, right now, you see, Zach Collins, he'll be back after Christmas. You want to see what you got in Zach Collins. But the main ones I'm looking here is if we keep Amino. I'm pretty sure we're not. But Thad Young, he'll only have a season if we keep him. I mean, it's a lot of short leashes here. Drew Eubanks, he only got 2 years on his. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really strange thing. Luka, here's the thing. I don't even think it's all on Luka. Like, I'm not going to sit here and blame the Spurs and say he hasn't gotten his opportunity, because that's not true. He's gotten his opportunity. But I think, man, I don't know how to explain it. It's just such a weird thing, because it's like you just don't know where to put him yet. And I think that's not necessarily a like hindrance on him. I think that's just a wait and see, like, because we don't know what he is right now. It seems like what Luka is just a catch and shoot player, which, I mean, in that regard, he's going to fit in perfectly, because that seems like the kind of thing that we're going for this season with Doug McDermott, Drew Eubanks, guys that can shoot 3, Jock Landale. So he fits right in. I could see him coming in and being a role player. Maybe it's just a matter of us just calming down our expectations for what Luka will be. I see all the things in his game where it's like, wow, he could be a star. But, I mean, even the Spurs said that it was kind of up in the air when they drafted him, that they weren't 100% sure, and they were basically looking at the trend in which the NBA was going, and they said, well, Luka Samanic has things in his arsenal where he could eventually be like a Kevin Durant. So I don't know. I think that's where that is. Is this a contract year? It maybe. I don't know if it's as dire as we think it is. I think Luka's in a pretty good spot. I don't agree with fans that say that Luka doesn't try out there because I saw him trying. I mean, are you guys in that boat where you think Luka isn't trying?
You can go ahead, Andrew. I'll answer after you.
I think he's just like clumsy. I don't know. Like,
Clumsy?
I think he tries, but like, it's just, I don't know. He makes mistakes. I don't know.
I could definitely see that. It's something that actually comes to mind when you say that Luka's clumsy. Honestly, that's actually a really good assessment of Luka because I don't agree with he doesn't try, because one play that I think about when you say clumsy was that offensive rebound. You remember that rebound off the missed free throw, and he fought for it. Like he fought
last night.
Yeah, it was last night.
He went up for the dunk.
Yeah, and like it was just like sloppy. It was just like ugly. Like he's putting in the effort. It's just like he couldn't finish. Like he's just undersized, or I don't know what it was, but he just couldn't finish. But he's trying. I think I'll say this, okay? I think if we can just calm down our expectations, Luka has potential, but yes, calm down our expectations. Now that we have Primo and we see what stardom looks like, even at the age of 18, we got Keldon Johnson who just won a gold medal. I think we can kind of calm down and say, all right, let's look at the other guys at best, which is fine, but at best right now, let's just say, okay, Luka is a stretch big. And in that regard, I think that we'll all be happy with him being a stretch big because he can shoot the ball. That's one thing Luka's really good at. And then, if he can just sprinkle in a little bit of his Luka-isms, during the game, I think we can suffice. I don't know. All right, what about you, Impeccable, before we get into the next video?
And you see, that's my thing with Luka there. That's my thing with Luka there. Is that with Luka, I don't know. I've never been the highest on him. I've never been that high on Luka. I was not happy when we drafted him in the draft, especially at that position that we drafted him in.
Uh-huh.
I was one of the guys that was preaching to the heavens, hey, if we can, we should get Brandon Clark or Rui Hachimura coming out of Gonzaga, because Brandon Clark was the best defensive player in the entirety of college when he was drafted. He won the award for the best defender in college. And he had just come off of being eliminated after dropping a 40-point game during March Madness. So the fact that he dropped only because he was a bit older than our draft prospects, and he was the best defender, and he played power forward, I was like, he would fit the culture, essentially. We took Luka. I know Luka has a lot of promise. I have no doubt in my mind that we scouted him across seas. But when the main complaint about Luka was never his talent. Luka was never criticized about his talent coming over from Europe. The number one criticism about Luka was his motor is not the best. And by not the best, I mean sometimes he will go out there and it'll look like he's playing basketball, but he's not really trying to do anything in specific out there. It's just him going through the motions, and that's just about it. And when you watch him play, a lot of times, it's not that I would say he's clumsy. It just looks like he's not putting that much effort into playing, really.
Okay.
Not that he's not trying, but, at this juncture that he's at, the team's at now, when we're even talking about picking up a Sekou Doumbouya who would play exactly the same position as Luka, we just signed Doug McDermott to a 3-year deal, who will probably eat and pick up the same minutes that Luka should be playing. And there's no defined role for him on this team besides project still on, and it's year 3. It's kind of just odd. He's in a very odd position. If I was him, I would try my best to show off something on the floor this year, just so that, people aren't looking at me like I'm crazy if I was him. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm not convinced that Luka's gonna be a long-term Spur at this point. I just don't see it in his future.
Yeah, I don't know if I see that either. I'll say this about Luka. As far as his motor, I will say this. I mean, at least this preseason game, he looked fine. I felt like he was pretty engaged. Even last season, he didn't look that bad. I will say this about Luka. I think Luka, if we just tamper down our expectations and we say Luka's going to be a sharpshooter, I think that we'll all be surprised. I think we'll all be pretty happy because he's going to be a little bit more than a sharpshooter. I think he might end up being, which I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but he might end up being one of those guys that never fully hits his potential. Because, I mean, even him going into the draft, he was comparing himself to KD. I did that video on Karolinko. That was him who compared himself to Karolinko because he does have those things in his arsenal. He can pass the ball. He can shoot the ball. He has decent handles. But with this team that we got right now, if he just becomes a catch and shoot shooter or a player, I think that he'll be in good shape. Like, everything, I even got it on screen. I don't know if you guys was seeing any of it, but even on screen, a lot of things that he worked on and stuff that he posted as far as his post game were all just catch and shoots, like everything. That's just what he's been working on. Like, he's just been working on shooting, and that's fine. Like, if he's just a catch and shoot player, I think Dejounte and Derek White will be more than happy to have them a catch and shoot big man on their team. And if he can go in there, in my opinion, and put up like 2, 3, I say 3. Let's say 3 threes a game. Let's say 3 for 6, 3 for 5, 3 for 6. I'm happy with that. Like 12 minutes, 10, maybe 10, 11 minutes. I'm okay with that. And I'll sit back and say, okay, that's pretty good. And maybe we can get him for like a deal, I don't know. If he can feel like a Bertans role, I think that'll be pretty nice. But I think I kind of agree with both of you just a little bit. I have seen spurts of Luka not really, playing 100%. I haven't seen it recently, but I've seen it. And I definitely agree with Andrew on the clumsiness because it does just seem a little, that rebound kind of stood out to me. It's like, ugh, like as soon as he makes something happen, it just goes away. But we'll see. I don't know. Another thing about Luka, here's my little pet peeve about Luka. I don't like his go-to where, like, one of his go-to moves is just to kind of go straight into your chest and kind of use his, elbows to kind of create space to try to do like a floater or just lay it in like a little hook shot. I'm not crazy about it. I think even though he's gotten bigger, I don't think he's strong enough to be doing that, especially when you're going against, when he's actually going against like NBA players. It just doesn't really work out for him, I don't think. It looked fine in the G League, but it's not going to work on a daily basis in the NBA. But I don't know. That's my Luka spiel. Y'all got anything else to add, or want to go into the next segment?
No, not about Luka.
Okay.
Shoot, I would offer something about Luka if I had anything. It's just, he's still what he was when we drafted him, a question mark. I don't really have that much to say about him.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the next. I'm going to say Primo for last because, that's Joshua Primo. Okay. Let's go into Dejounte Murray. All right. Hold on. They need to ask Dejounte Murray if he's still grimacing. Like, are you still grimacing after seeing Josh Primo play? Okay, you see. Let me turn this up. All right, let's get it.
The offense pretty quickly.
Yeah, just going up and down and trying to get stops, trying to play together, and that's one thing that we've been working on in open gym to training camp is sharing the ball and want the best for your teammate, because we all got the same goal, which is win. So we just trying to share the ball. Shots are gonna fall.
Dejounte, what do you think the potential is for this team defensively?
It's early. It's the first preseason game. I think, one thing about me, I don't like to put limits on myself or, my team. So,
He's not lying. So Dejounte Murray said that he doesn't like to put limits on his team or himself. He's not lying. I'm starting to think back of like when he was talking about like when they were, what were they doing? What was the question? It was in some interview and they were talking about like being the next big three or something. I forget the context of it, but he basically responded with, "Look, man, I'm not trying to be them. Like, I can't be them. I can't look at it that way. I just got to keep, growing and keep doing what I got to do." So he's been pretty consistent with that narrative. Like, this isn't anything new. I don't know. All right, let's see.
We just got to grow. We got opportunity to go out today and play against another team instead of each other. So, I think it was good on both ends, but, we can always get better. But move on and get ready for Detroit.
Do you think as a group you guys did a pretty good job against Donovan?
Yeah, first game. Donovan's a long season. He's going to have a really great season, I think. Great player. So, that's what you do to great players is make it tough for them.
You think that was a good test for what you guys have been working on in practice?
Yeah, we did a lot of good things. We did a lot of things that we could have did better. So, it's just good. We got to play another team to be able to go watch film, of live action.
What are your thoughts on Josh's performance?
Oh, Josh Primo.
Keep going. Just tell him keep working, keep learning. This one's over. I just told him it's over. So get back in the gym, get back with the coaches.
He don't have to tell Josh Primo that. I feel like Josh Primo's okay. I don't know. Josh Primo got a face like a little kid, but Josh Primo is stupid mature. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, I don't know if you even heard what he said. Did you hear what he said? Hello? Y'all still there?
Nah, I'm here. It was really low. It's fine though.
Oh, I can tell you what he said. He basically said he told. Wait, is the stream really low?
No. It was just for me. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. No. So what he said was basically he told Primo right after the game, like, this one's over, get back in the gym, go back to work. You just got to keep working or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you said that, but I don't know. That's just
DJ.
Yeah, it's just DJ. Because Josh Primo, I don't know. Just my vibe from him is that it'll take a lot for things to get to his head, for him to get the big head. Because, the way that he was just out there casually hitting threes, I was like, dang, dude, you're not even going to, like, smile? Like, do we just make Spurs players in a lab? It's so weird. Like, they're so strange. Like, he didn't even react. Like, he was just knocking down threes casually, crossing people over, blocking shots, making amazing passes. Man. It was weird. What's up?
I wish Lonnie had that confidence. Like, Primo plays like Houston Lonnie, honestly.
I think Lonnie does have the confidence. I think Lonnie does have the confidence. I mean, when I saw him out there, I saw Lonnie trying out moves, creating space, not afraid to shoot.
Back,
yeah, not afraid to shoot, playing good defense in his right place. Like, I saw Lonnie with some confidence. Like, that would be similar to me saying, like, Derek White doesn't have confidence because that, I don't know. Or have you been feeling like Lonnie hasn't had confidence for a while, though?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long season, so we'll see what Lonnie can do. But, yeah, in the past, I feel like he just wasn't, like, aggressive, urgent, but,
Yeah.
I see a new Lonnie now.
Yeah. What? Who's Jeffrey talking about? You're just regurgitating stuff the guests are saying? Take a look at his drives. Is he talking about somebody in the chat, or are you talking about... Did I say something? I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's up? You feel?
Yeah,
like...
I was saying I don't know. Oh no, he's on the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry.
You think that Cade's gonna put us on a highlight reel next game?
What's that?
I said, do you think that Cade Cunningham's gonna put the Spurs on a highlight reel next game? Like,
it's a possibility. I ain't gonna lie.
Lots of highlights, like.
Hey, how did he do last game? Has he played a game yet?
I didn't catch it.
Don't think so.
Okay.
Pretty sure he didn't.
Okay.
Well, that got me a little nervous.
Yeah, he'll get a layup and they'll be like, "Oh my God, Cade."
Yeah, they're crazy about him already.
Yeah, I mean, he's it's Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not afraid. I ain't afraid of nobody. All right. All right, let me see what DJ's saying. I want to get to Primo.
Players and just continue to learn. He's 18 years old, so it's just going to be a process for him, ups and downs. But overall, I think if he keeps that work ethic and learnability, he'll be fine.
Does he seem like a guy that's really even keel?
Say it again.
Does he seem like he's really even keel? He doesn't get too high or too low? Like, this isn't going to...
He didn't look phased. He didn't look phased, you know.
Isn't this like full circle? This is so weird. Like, Dejounte literally tweeted out, like, wow, we got this dude. Like, without saying it, he basically did that. Right? Is this not, am I crazy? This is weird.
It's true. It's true. I actually want to get into that.
Okay, we'll get into it right after this then. Okay. Because I it's just weird now. Because it's like, I don't know. It's kind of surreal. I don't know. It's like the Twilight Zone. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where I'm at.
You know, as a rookie, first game preseason or not, you know, you have a little jitters, you know, so he looked comfortable and he just looked smooth. So his things continue to grow. And like I said, the work ethic and the learnability is huge for him.
I think Jock's going to fit in pretty well. His passing, his ability to run the floor.
Yeah, for sure. Being an overseas guy, I played with Pau Gasol, so, you know, Pau Gasol is a great passer. He can read the game really well, so I'm not saying Jock's Pau Gasol, but, you know, he's a great passer. He understands the game of basketball, so we could trust him with the ball in his hands.
Wow. So you can trust him with the ball in his hands. Wow. Okay. All right, what's up, man? Oh, I wasn't even showing. Y'all just looked at me while DJ was talking. But yeah. What were you saying, Impeccable?
About DJ and Primo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really take it to heart what DJ would do with Primo, because I mean, to be honest, he had questions about it too. I mean, Primo is traditionally thought of as a point guard, although I think he'd be playing more shooting guard in the league. So I mean, with his future kind of uncertain at that very moment, and him potentially being traded somewhere else, and them taking another guy who could potentially play his same position, I was like, oh, you know, I would feel a bit uneasy too, even though I'm the starter. You know, if a trade does come up and it's to get a guy that y'all really like, I wouldn't be shocked if you traded me, because I'm one of the more valuable, or the league perceives me as one of the more valuable assets on your team. Yeah. So I wasn't really, you know, I don't think it was so much a comment on Primo himself. It was really just, how would Primo affect DJ? Is I think how I perceived that tweet. How does this affect his future versus really Primo?
Okay. You know what? I don't really see, like, here's the thing. Like, we're going to sit here and we're going to say, oh, this person's in trouble. This person's in trouble. Honestly, I think if DJ isn't traded, he has a very long career with the Spurs. He's just one of those players you can just fit him in, even if he's not point, which I think he'll be point guard, but even if he's not point guard, he'll be completely fine. Primo is one of those guys, like, I know I compared him earlier to Kyle Anderson just with his passing ability, but everything he does, he's the type of player where you can put in any team and be okay. I don't think Primo, when it's all said and done, will necessarily be like the point guard. I don't think we'll need him to necessarily do that. I could very well see him just being, I don't know, like a Manu, where, you know, Manu Ginobili can run the offense. He was really good at running the offense, but you don't necessarily need him to. He does so many other things great too. Like, I feel like I could see Primo just fitting into any role you kind of need him, whether it be when he gets taller at small forward, shooting guard, point guard. Like, I think you'll be able to really experiment and have fun. And that's what I'm kind of seeing from even that first preseason game, is like, we're going to have a lot of fun. Like, there's a lot of different lineups that the Spurs could do and play around with right now. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it, Andrew, with the DJ Primo thing, and if anybody's in trouble, or I don't know?
I just like DJ personality. I feel like he just like that towards everyone, you know?
Yeah. Just kind of like, look, go to work, do your stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah. I was gonna say this too, like, really quick. Like, I know, like, it's kind of like on the channel, like I've been talking about Ben Simmons because there's so much Ben Simmons news and stuff, like even Spurs in the realm of that. I actually, against what you might think, like I actually would rather DJ stay if we have a Ben Simmons because of that attitude he has. Because Ben Simmons even said himself that he needs like people to hold him accountable. I can't think of somebody that will hold you accountable more than a DJ. But then again, man, looking at this team, I really don't care about getting anybody else. Like, obviously, you try to make the team better. Aminu isn't going to play, so he doesn't even need to be on the roster right now. That's just my opinion. So I think he has to go. Thad Young, I feel like you can find a place for him on the team if you decide to go that route. But yeah, I don't know. I'm comfortable with the team, but if it came down to that, I would hate to give up DJ. Even though I have said on many occasions that Ben Simmons is a better talent than almost anybody on the team. But I think you would need a DJ if you're gonna have a Ben. Like, you just need it. But I don't know.
For the alpha dog energy, yes,
Yeah.
you would certainly actually need that. I mean, yeah, DJ is. How could I describe DJ? DJ is a floor raiser, if that makes any sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
He just, because he holds guys accountable, because he holds himself accountable, because he's always has this dog mentality of, I don't care if I'm the best player here, I don't care if I'm the fifth best player here.
Yeah.
I want to win by any means necessary. A more cutthroat attitude. He's gonna raise your floor no matter who you have around him.
Yeah, I agree. And M Easy in the chat, he's like, y'all gotta chill out. Like, he hasn't played top talent. We know, bro, but dang, like, it's there. Like, okay, I'll say it like this. How about this? Yes, say this, okay? Primo is going to struggle at some point. Obviously, he's a rookie, so if we play him, he's gonna struggle. No one's saying that he's gonna go out there and just like, be able to lock up Steph Curry or anything. Like, no one's saying that. But at the end of the day, his shooting stroke is ridiculous, okay? I mean, it's at the point where even if he was just a catch and shooter, his shooting stroke is ridiculous. The first shot in the game didn't even touch net. And even the shot that he missed rolled in and out. That's a type of shooter, a type of scorer that we're not accustomed to. Say what you want, but when you can pull up like that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he hasn't gone against, top tier talent. Yeah, when Kawhi is guarding him, it's going to be tough, okay? It's going to be tougher. He's going to struggle more. When Paul George guard him, it's going to be tougher. But we're in the modern day NBA, and it's about shooting threes. There's not many players out there just locking up shooters and scorers like that. So, yeah, I mean, what I saw out there, I mean, he came out there and he was shooting it as silky as freaking, Lou Williams. So, at the end of the day, that's what he was doing well, was the shots. That's what surprised people, was that when he shot, the ball was in the air for like 10 seconds and it didn't even touch net. And then when he missed, it still should have went in. Like, he has that type of touch. I mean, he banked a three. I mean, it's just too good, bro. His shooting touch is just too good. So I understand what you're saying. People are really excited. I know, with everybody like cheering and shouting out Primo. I get it. You want to just kind of tamper your expectations. But some players, when you see them, they're going to be special. And Joshua Primo is a player that next season he was going to be considered a top 5 pick. That's why the Spurs got on him. Early. They didn't want to give it up. He was going to move up in the draft, but also it was projected that the next season he will be like a top 5. So, look, I understand. I know it's frustrating, especially when you're a guy that's, because M-Easy's more like a realist in the chat. Like, that's just how he is. He never agrees with me on anything because of how hyperbolic I am. But yeah, he never agrees with me, except for the Ben Simmons thing. We agree on that. But yeah, I understand, bro. I know other people probably feel that way too, how you're feeling, but it's not a matter of Primo being like, we're saying Primo is a basketball god or he's the next Michael Jordan. Actually, I want to ask y'all something in a minute, but like, we're not saying he's the next Michael Jordan or anything, but when he goes out there and he just shoots it effortlessly with like a super calm demeanor, and he's just making the right plays, and he's just making people look silly. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, he's good at basketball. Like, I don't know. The shooting is what's the most impressive to me. That's something where it doesn't matter. I don't care who you're going against. It doesn't really matter.
I do want to comment on Primo.
Yeah, what's
real
up?
quick, man.
What's up?
So here's my thing with Primo. First of all, I just want to say I'm a fan of Primo. I really like his game. I like his demeanor on court.
I hear a butt.
No butts coming. No butts coming.
Okay.
But here's where I'll take this. When you're looking around the league at what's going on with other teams, when you have guys like Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, John Morant, not saying that Primo is any one of those guys. He was not a top 10 pick in the draft. However, he was a lottery pick. And the Spurs obviously saw something that put him head and shoulders above other guys that they could have taken at 11.
Wait a minute. Hey. 1 second. Who is this? This ain't Primo, is it? That's not Primo, right? I don't feel like that's Primo's demeanor to do that. Is that Primo? That's not Primo. This is really blurry. I cannot tell who that is. Oh no, it's this guy.
That's not him.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, what the heck? I was like, it doesn't seem like he would do that. Okay, I was looking for Primo highlights. All right, go ahead, Impactful. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, when you look at the guys around our league who are carrying, or even like Donovan Mitchell, when you're looking at guys who are carrying offenses around our league, usually they show signs of these things early on in their career. Yeah. So like guys like Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, guys who can score the ball and are combo guards who can play a multitude of positions and a multitude of guard a multitude of positions as well. We're looking at these guys, they maybe have not been as highly touted as they should have been and were drafted later on because people weren't convinced that they could be that so early on in their development. What we're seeing with Joshua Primo is he's clearly a lot farther than any Spurs fan really thought he was, besides the people who actually watched him. And if you knew his situation where he was going to school at, it wasn't because he couldn't start. It's because there were already more guys there that were higher on the chart just because of tenure. They were there longer.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at with Primo is a guy who could legitimately become the best scorer on this team in time. It might be shocking, but honestly, he has that ceiling.
Hold on. And this night, I don't know. This might be okay. I'm about to really like trigger M Easy with this. Who's a better scorer than Josh Primo on the team right now?
Say DJ, honestly, like hot take, but it's maybe not around the perimeter, but like that mid range and his finishing around the rim, like I don't know, like it's pretty nice. I mean,
this is one thing I saw from Josh Primo right off the bat. Like it's just something about him where it's like, oh my goodness, it's such natural. Or it doesn't pop. What? Oh, somebody talking about. Like this is a natural ability thing on top of like crazy amount of skill. Did you guys notice how like his layups are super high up, like Steph Curry high up, but it's even worse because he's like 6'6". So it's like even nastier, like it would be even harder to block it. I noticed a lot of that. Like it was really high off the backboard. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I agree. His layups looked very nice, like very crisp. Like in an in-game situation, you can see him doing those layups 5 to 6 times a game, and they all go in.
Yeah.
It's not hard to believe.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, and just to clarify, why I do say Primo is probably the most talented offensive player that we currently have. Understand that I'm not going by currently, as in he's the best scorer on the team right this minute, right now. But when you're talking about ceiling-wise, I have not seen one person on this team who has a higher offensive ceiling than Joshua Primo. There's nothing I can imagine Joshua Primo not being able to do on the basketball court, whether it's a post move, whether it's a three-point shot off the dribble, whether it's a pull-up mid-range, whether it's slashing abilities. He has all of those components to his game. And anytime you see him play, even if it is just the preseason, you can't tell me that every single game that we've watched Joshua Primo in, the game looks like it's natural for him. There's been guys on the team who show a lot of promise, yes, but not one of them has made the game look as easy as Joshua Primo has.
Okay. Well, so are we going off of like just statistic wise? Because I mean, I would just say right now, I mean, as far as his talent and what he can do, he will be a better, like the best natural scorer on the team. I mean, I don't know. I guess we have to see more. Maybe that's not fair to even say like right now, but I don't know. Are we going off of like statistics?
Me personally, I go a lot of what I can see or what I can validate based off of my eyes. I go off of statistics, of course, but you can tell to a certain extent when these guys are on the basketball court what they're comfortable doing, what role they're comfortable playing within the offense.
Yeah.
What Joshua Primo has going for him is that a lot of his points are not coming off of plays that are set for him. He's just creating those enough to do what moves come naturally to him. There's other guys on our team who are more like Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell is very great if you're putting him in a role to do things that he's good at. I don't see him as the on-ball creator that even Primo is, despite the fact I do think that Devin is better at what he's good at than Joshua Primo is right now, which is catching and shooting, being in certain spots, catching and shooting, and not being asked to put the ball on the floor for more than 2 dribbles.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's a really good point. You mentioned one thing, and I want to get on to before we get into because we haven't went into Primo's post game, but before we get into that, I definitely want to talk about this really quick. So this kind of been irritating me a little bit. Where I don't know, you guys might be one of those people. You might believe this. I don't see it, but where is this comparison between Joshua Primo and Kobe Bryant coming from? Like I don't see it. Do y'all see? I don't see it.
Andrew, you want to go with that one first?
Well, I see it more than KD, honestly.
Really?
But I don't know. I think it's like just his posture, like his mid range, like during the summer league. Like I know he did like some moves that are like Kobe-ish. I don't know. I think that's where it came from, though. Like I've seen like memes on Twitter, like I don't know, like them like doing shots like each other, but that's about it. I think.
I don't see. Well, what's up, Impeccable?
So yeah, I am one of the proponents of I see it, mainly because I see Primo. So Primo's, it's kind of easy for me. It's kind of easy to see. 6'6" guard makes the game look very easy, very just fluid in his game. Is ambidextrous. If I'm not mistaken, Kobe was also ambidextrous, as in he can use both hands to do anything on the court or just anything in general.
Yeah, Kyrie is too.
And you see it with his finishing ability. He can finish with either hand, like nobody else really. Which projects well when a player is ambidextrous. And besides that, you look at the positions that they're being put into coming into the league. Remember that Kobe came into the league. He wasn't starting. He was playing behind Eddie Jones. And Eddie Jones was a very capable player. He became an all-star shortly after being traded to the Charlotte Hornets. But the reason why he was traded in the first place is because Kobe just showed more promise. Right now, Primo's in the same exact position. He's coming into a situation in which he won't start despite being a lottery pick. He's picked later in the lottery. And he may not get starting minutes, but he will go ahead and show flashes of starter ability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mainly when I look at Primo's game and young Kobe's game, of course Kobe was more predicated on his athleticism than Primo is. Primo's a much smoother, I would say, player. But when you're talking about just as far as flashes, we're talking about how they play the game. And you also have to understand, the reason why Primo is in the position in which he's in right now is because he's a student of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a guy who is constantly practicing on his game. There's a guy who's coming out of Canada, who is probably the best player coming out of Canada in this draft. And the main reason is he practices the game. He loves the game. He thinks about the game. He breathes, eats, sleeps this game, and very much so. The reason why we all revere Kobe and his mountain mentality so much is because that's what he does. Anything he wants to be great at, he's willing to work at it. I see the same thing when I look at Primo. Maybe I'm, being a bit hyperbolic when it comes to Primo, but I definitely 100% believe in what Primo can do.
I still don't see. I see it in circumstance. I definitely see it in circumstance. I just don't see it in playing style at all. Like, I mean, I heard a lot of people say young Kobe couldn't really shoot. I mean, especially like this. Like, I mean, I think young Kobe was a little more, a tad bit more athletic. But like Primo's game, I don't see Kobe at all. Like one thing that Kobe, even we're talking about later on Kobe, like one thing that Kobe was really great at was that post move, fadeaway. Like that was his thing, like that Michael Jordan fadeaway. Primo doesn't do that. It's literally like get around screens, create space, step backs. I mean, that's what he does well. He's good around the rim like Kobe, but that's about it. I would see KD way more because of that lankiness, getting around screens, and the fact that he's going to get even taller than he is right now. But yeah, I don't know. And as far as like demeanor, because I know I've seen that too. Like, well, it's his demeanor. I don't think Primo has the same demeanor as Kobe. Like, he has more of a demeanor as KD. Like, KD's the one that's really calm and poised on the court, and he shows emotion when things go down. But for the most part, KD will put up 50 on you and be pretty calm. Kobe has a real weird intensity. I guess I'll say this. What I've seen as far as Mamba mentality, I won't say Kobe, but he has some Mamba mentality where in the summer league, when things were really going down and they really needed something to happen, like a score, he was there. But I just don't see it. Kobe did a lot of back to the basket shots, and I'm seeing Primo do way more like pull-ups, like size up and pull-ups, which would be KD. I just don't see it. Even his mid-range shot, oftentimes he's like, and I guess that goes down that ambidextrous, but he's like off the it seems like he's off on the wrong foot. He's good at shooting like off of one foot, like really strange shots. He's capable of dribbling with his left and then shooting with his right. So I don't know. I don't see Kobe. I don't know. I don't see Kobe at all. Maybe it's just me. Like,
I mean, I get you. Personally, I get you. When my natural comparison wasn't Kobe, because I mean, if you look up highlights of a young Kobe, young, like he fresh shaven, bald Kobe when he just entered the league in his rookie season. Kobe's game was very unrefined and more raw. You can tell he showed flashes, and he showed signs of what his game would become.
Yeah,
but you have to understand, Kobe was picked 13 in his draft. It was the 96 draft. He wasn't the top 10 pick. He wasn't the first pick. He was the 13th pick in the draft. And he had to really scrap for minutes playing behind a guy like Eddie Jones. And the big thing with him was that he did show those flashes. I don't compare Primo's game to Kobe or even really KD. When I see Primo play, the first person that comes to mind, and this person's a bit more athletic than Primo, but I could definitely see Primo becoming like him in the future, is Tracy McGrady. I see the same subtle calmness, the smooth operator style of play, a pull-up mid-range shot, a pull-up three-point shot, being able to score on just about anybody in the league. And if he puts on more size to him, if he grows 2 or 3 more inches, like he honestly, we're thinking that he should. If he grows those 2 to 3 more inches, if he gains a bit more muscle on his frame, if he does a few more of those things just to round out his game, I could definitely see him being T-Mac-esque in his ability to just score on just about anybody in the league.
But you don't see why don't you see KD? Ruru says she's not seeing KD either. What? Like, how is this? How do you not see KD?
I see KD in his smoothness, but he's not. KD's a kind of an odd player, and if odd isn't unique in the fact that he's a lot more rangy. And I don't just mean that because he's lanky. I mean just the way he plays. Even when he came to the league, and he wasn't really the best shooter in the league when he was in when he was a Seattle Supersonic. He was just very rangy.
Can
he
I
knew
say?
how to use his advantage.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off. But M Easy, oh my God, he said you sound ridiculous comparing his attributes to Kobe and Kate. Stop it, bro. Look, bro, nobody is saying he is literally Kobe or he's literally KD. Like, do you get this heated like during the draft? Like when they start doing draft comparisons? Like, do you just like get this angry at them? Or is it just us like making subtle comparisons? I mean, you got to compare them to somebody because you can compare everyone to everyone. Like, this is just kind of what you do. Like, when it's all said and done, at the end of his career, he'll probably just be Primo. Like, I know the last time we had someone where we could directly compare it probably was Kobe and MJ. But, geez, man, like, I don't know. I don't think that's... I think you're getting a little too heated, man. No one is saying he's literally Kobe or literally KD. Like, no one's saying that. It's just comparisons. Like, everyone makes comparisons. Like, if you look at freaking Ben Simmons, they made comparisons to LeBron. Same thing with Zion. They were like, oh, maybe he's, bully ball like LeBron. Giannis, they said, oh, he's like Shaq. Like, yeah, it's just a comparison.
I think Emizi might be trolling, but if he's not,
he's not.
Let me put it like this. If you've ever played 2K and you make a player on 2K, they can be a 60 overall, but you'll see shades of a certain player in what they can become if they fulfill their ceiling. It's the same thing with Primo at his stage now. Yeah. Every player can show flashes of another player. It doesn't mean they're going to be a carbon copy of that player, but you can definitely show flashes of another player. What we're saying is Primo has qualities that show flashes of players who are great players in this league. Not saying that he becomes to them to 100%, but can he become them to 80%, 70%, 90%? That's a normal possibility. That's not ridiculous to say.
Well, Melo is like, you could make comparisons from Melo to Kobe. Like, he's nowhere near as good as Kobe, but like there's flashes, but he's Melo, I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yo, before y'all continue, Clem, I gotta hop off. Thanks for having me on though.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, anytime. I appreciate you like giving your input and everything.
All right, nice, man. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. I'm glad he's gone. I hate that guy. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Finally, just you and me.
Just the two of us.
Oh.
Let's see.
Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
I don't know. I don't think that's fair to like get that angry. Look, man, I get it. It's just a comparison, bro, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, But is there anything specific you want to get into with Primo?
I was just gonna get into his post game. Real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see. All right. Okay. All right, let's bring it up. Josh Primo. Where are you? Okay, pregame. Oh, don't need to show that. Here we go. All right,
in the next 25 seconds.
Get past this ad. I don't know, man. Is it the sleeve? I think it's the arm sleeve why people compare him to Kobe. That's probably what it is. All right, hold on.
It could be the afro.
Maybe it is the afro. I think it's the afro. All right, let's see.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Give us your impression of your first real NBA game.
It was surreal. Just being out there, same guys I've been practicing with, but just a different atmosphere. I did this a little bit during summer league, but being out there with the fans and everything like that, our fans, it was an amazing feeling. And my teammates just made sure that I was confident going out there, and the fans made it easy. So I think it was just a great game for all of us to get our rhythm. So it was fun.
What was it like here?
Somebody say he reminds me of Kyrie. Okay, I don't see that.
Being behind you so this early.
It was crazy, honestly, just knowing that I haven't played in front of a big crowd like that ever. So just hearing that, we have great fans. I mean clearly, and they made sure that we all knew it during this game. So it was good.
When you hear that buzz, you have to sort of fight yourself not to get too energetic or too hyped by the crowd, or is that something that doesn't really?
I don't think it really bothers me. I think the team just continued to tell me just be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive, and when you're just locked in like that, I feel like it's easy to tune out the noise, whether it's good or bad.
Do you enjoy playing defense as much as what you can do offensively?
Absolutely. Coach Oates at Alabama instilled that in me, and Coach Pop wants me to continue that. So I know he's big on defense, so I got to continue to get better at that.
Looked like some of
He's
the
a good
veterans
defender.
were telling you a little bit after you came off the court, during
Yeah, no, I agree.
Were they just giving you praise or telling you to stay even keeled?
They said continue to be aggressive and just continue to tighten things up, be strong with the ball, and then just play free. And I feel like I tried to do just that.
How much did you take away from summer league or training camp, or just learning the NBA level?
You got to be physical. That's the biggest thing I took away. You got to be physical on and off the ball. This league is going to.
I know this is gonna be kind of like random, but does Josh Primo look a little bigger to you?
Oh yeah, no, he does.
I-
He put on size pretty fast, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, because I don't even remember him being that big from summer league.
Actually, the funny thing is, his body is. That just won't come off weird. His body style, like the way he's shaped, you can definitely tell he can put on another 15 to 20 pounds of just mass onto his frame. Like you can tell he's not even. Like you know how they talk about having a grown man body by the time that you make the league, or like guys in college you look for who have a grown man body already. You can tell that he's not there yet, but he can definitely, eventually, sometime in the league, he'll figure out what his proper weight and size will be, and when he does, he'll be a pretty strong player for his size.
Right. Yeah, it's a really strange thing, but yeah, he did grow a lot. Like, it didn't take long. I don't know.
No, I mean, when you look at his hands, you can kind of just tell, he's going to be a bigger dude still. He's not done growing yet.
Yeah.
Punish you if you're not ready for it. And I think from the jump during training camp, my teammates made sure that I was going to know that. And so coming into this game, I felt like I was pretty prepared, but it's only going to get harder from here.
You guys, we're going to keep it quick for Mr. Primo because he was nice enough to come in before he got treatment. So everybody got what they need?
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Man, the luxury of being a freaking NBA player. They literally just said he had the opportunity to go to the stand. Like, thank him because he went to the stand before he could get treatment. Like, wow. That's so weird. Like, what treatment I don't know, man. I always was weirded out by treatment in the NBA. It's like, I don't know. I know it's important, but I don't know, man. Come on. Play like, 18 minutes? I don't know. I don't know. It's strange. I know in the NFL you need treatment, but NBA
well, you
need all that treatment.
So what do you think of the interview there, Clan?
What do I think of what?
What do you think of that interview?
Oh, I think it was a pretty good interview. It seemed like he was excited. he answered very professionally. I think my biggest takeaway is just the defense, like the fact that they mentioned because I've always noticed that Primo was a really good defender. After looking into him after the draft, I was like, oh, he plays really good defense. But yeah, it seems like that's a focus, and the fact that he said that was instilled in him at Bama, and then got instilled with him, with Pop. I think that's pretty great. He can be. I mean, he's literally the definition of an overall player. Like, I don't know, everything in his arsenal. Now, I think the one thing that's cool about him right now is he's 6'6", and we're projecting that he can get bigger, but he doesn't have to get bigger to be like, superstar status. Like there's nothing that can really limit him. He can very well just stay the size he is right now and have no limits. But if he gets even bigger, now that's just nuts. But like I'm thinking of like Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry, he's a phenomenal 3-point shooter, but because he's only 6'3", he's probably really 6'2", but because he's like 6'3", he's gonna struggle on defense here and there. He's gonna struggle with certain things and certain matchups. He's gonna get bodied up if he goes against a guy that's too big. But Josh Primo is the perfect size even right now. Till I'll be okay if he stays this size forever. Yeah. I mean, sky is literally the limit with this dude. But I mean, what's your thoughts on the?
I mean, y'all have already heard me sing my high praises of Primo. And this is after me, thinking of our guys that we should have drafted during the draft. And when I originally saw the Primo pick, I was very critical of it. I wasn't negative about it, but I was critical of it. Like, could we have traded down? Could we have done some certain type of things? But now that everything's kind of happened, I definitely see what the Spurs were looking at when they're getting a guy like Primo. And everything about him has only made me more confident in the fact that they made the right choice this draft. I mean, everything that you heard, the big thing that popped out to me in that interview just now was what his teammates and what the staff were telling him, which is be aggressive. Play to your strengths. Be aggressive. Be a competitor on both sides of the floor, whether that's on defense, which we see him compete on defense, and on offense. He's always trying to initiate offense either for himself or for somebody else, which promotes well. So he's already showing a competitive streak, which you want out of a guy that you take in the lottery. You want that out of any pick you take in any draft, but especially in a guy that you pick in the lottery, you're hoping that they're aggressive, that they want to do something when they're given minutes and an opportunity on the floor, right?
Yeah.
So that actually promotes well. I could definitely see him getting minutes this season, even though he's only 18. He was the youngest player in the draft this year. I could definitely still see him getting minutes. And as far as like his size, he's put on muscle, so you can tell he's working out. And even if he didn't get like taller, his frame can still fill out. That he can still get bigger. He can still get stronger. And he can still improve his already pretty decent athleticism to a point that, he's more so a near elite athlete, not just vertically, but in other ways too. Which will help make his offense that much easier. If he does grow, and let's say he gets to hypothetically like 6'8", close to 6'9", well, now you're talking about a guy who has point guard, shooting guard skills at a 6'8", 6'9" height, who can play the 1 through 3 convincingly. Well, now you're talking, and if he fills out more and does those things, like putting on more muscle, improving on his already pretty good athleticism, well, now you're talking about a guy who is a threat at all stages of the basketball court and can honestly be your best player, just because the way that I perceive great players on any team is that they don't need a play ran for them to be efficient or effective on the basketball court. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like that's kind of my definition for like a superstar. Like they'll be able to facilitate, create their own shot, and you can literally just say, everybody get out of the way and just let him go to work.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll say this: they make a coach's job easier. We saw it with Tim, we saw it sometimes with Manu, and we saw it sometimes with Tony. they made Pop's job easier because they are so good at doing things for themselves and others that they can, to a certain extent, carry the offense on the floor without needing a play ran for them or ran for anybody else. The best guys in the league, like a Donovan Mitchell, you see them play, and a lot of their points are not coming off of plays set for them. They can have plays set for them and be effective, but really a lot of their points are coming from them just setting themselves up to be in great positions to score or help their team in certain ways.
Yeah.
So, and everything I see with Primo shows me that he has that ability. I mean, the number one thing draft scouts were saying about him coming into the draft was he can project to be possibly the best shooter in this draft because he shows a natural touch from outside. What we're seeing right now is he's not just a three-point shooter, he's an overall shooter. He can shoot it from anywhere on the floor, and it looks good. So,
that's
I don't know. I'm high on him. I think he has a high ceiling.
I didn't even know they said that.
Yeah, no. The big thing about him was that his big strong point coming out of I want to say Alabama. The reason why he was even on that squad, and the main thing they asked him to do was play off ball, catch and shoot. They didn't ask him to handle. They didn't ask him to play make. They didn't ask him to even replay defense or even drive in the paint and finish. All they asked him to do was just catch and shoot. You can even look on, if I can remember, The Ringer. The Ringer had when The Ringer was putting out their prospects, they had him in the low 20s because the big question for Primo was, what else does he do but shoot?
Oh, yeah.
What we're seeing is it wasn't that he can't do anything else but shoot. He was being asked to shoot, and that's what he did. And now in San Antonio, we're asking him to do what he can do as far as his entire game is concerned.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that it's really it speaks to what even Ruru was saying, like positionless basketball. I didn't really agree with that. But I still don't really know what it means, but I can say that he's positionless. I mean, he can't play center or power forward, but
yeah,
he can kind of do everything. I don't know.
Well, the positionless basketball thing, or what Brian Wright believes it as far as positionless basketball. Yeah, he's a positionless basketball player, especially if he grows at all. He's 100% position. Because if he grows to 6'8", 6'9", you can play him at the 1 through 4 and not really be losing out on anything.
Thank you, Jose.
He'll just be on the floor playing a position.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to positionless basketball, I know we're talking about that right now, but we really don't have a lot of guys who complement that type of style of play. Because we have guys that really just play positions, like a Jacques Landale. We're not really asking him to play anything but 5 because we're not sure if he can play anything but 5. Same thing with Jakob, same thing with Drew. They're just that position. What I do see the Spurs starting to shift towards is getting guys who are of a certain height, of a certain body type, a certain play style in which they can just play whatever position you put them at and they do something at that position. Because it makes it easier for you to build a roster around those guys. Which is it's like Keldon Johnson, Joshua Primo. Those guys couldn't. I mean, Keldon came into the league as a 2 guard, and he was playing the power forward position and he was good at it. So you can definitely tell that we're going towards a positionless. I put quotation marks around that era.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I love the bro. Can I say something? I know this is gonna be off topic. Can I
Go
say
ahead.
Something? All right. This is what's pretty great. Like, everybody in the chat, you guys can agree with me, right? You're going to agree with me on this. The preseason, usually we go into the preseason and we sit back and we're like, it's the preseason. Who cares? That's usually what we do because we usually have our starters set. We know who cares. We know at the end of the day, Duncan's going to play, Manu's going to play, Tony's going to play. And in the preseason, we're not going to see anyone play. And it's going to be a lot of guys that don't even get playing time. But this season is special because this last game, literally, if I go to it, hold on. Literally, here it is. Literally, every single player that played, the only 2 players that we can basically say definitively that's not going to play is Bates and Wieskamp. Literally. It's like, even when the starters sat down, we didn't care because we got to see Primo. We got to see Bryn Forbes. I know people probably don't like that. But we got to see Jock Landale. We got to see Luka. Like, this is exciting. Like, I don't know who's going to be the lineup. We got a lot of versatility. And I know it's just preseason, but man, we kept them to 23.3 3-point percentage, 31.7 field goal percentage. Like, you can beat anybody with that. And if I just for a second, if I just count how many defenders we have on the team, and by the way, one thing we're not talking about, Jakob, I think you say it differently. I think it's another way to say it. Jakob.
I say Jakob.
We say Jakob, but it's like, I think it's a different way to say it. But Keldon Johnson, like, this, how many defenders we got? Keldon Johnson, Jakob, Derek White, Dejounte Murray. Would you consider Drew Eubanks a defender? Is that fair? I don't know.
He's a shot blocker, so he tries. You can put him in there.
Okay, let's put him in there. So that's 5. Let's skip over Luka. We can't skip over them. Jacqueline will skip over Jock. We'll skip over Bryn Forbes. I will say Lonnie Walker. That's 6. Devin Vassell 7, and Joshua Primo 8. And then if that young plays, that's 9. We literally have 9 players on the team that are defenders. If you have 9 players on the team that are defenders, you can literally do whatever you want. Like, people that are afraid of Bryn Forbes stinking up the place, it didn't matter. Like, Bryn Forbes got burnt a few times in his game. It didn't matter. He had a +10 because our defense was so good as a team. He made up for it when he shot 2 for 4 from 3, or 4 for 8 from, overall 11 points. Like, he's a scorer. So I think at the end of the day, man, it's pretty nice. Like, because even McDermott, like, McDermott isn't the best defender, and what I saw in the game was he was trying. He was trying, but what he was doing was he was there. He kept his hands up, and he was feeding them into, or feeding his guy into a monster in Jakob, or he's at least with his guy. And I don't know, man. It just seems like when you have this many defenders on the team, it's like, no matter what, we're going to be really hard to beat. And I'm starting to believe, I've been saying this whole time, that Lonnie has to step up. He has to be the guy. But that was all because I wasn't expecting Vassell and Primo to be ready yet. But if Primo can get some minutes, I don't think the Spurs are going to be able to send him to the G League. So I don't know. This is the first preseason situation that I've seen where we actually sit back and we're like, wow, I don't care if the starters play or not. And that's like unheard of for us. Like, this is uncharted territory. So I don't know.
I agree. I mean, I don't think, and this is weird saying it for an 18-year-old, but I don't think Primo, or I think he's still 18. I don't think Primo is a G League player. I think he's already polished enough that you can put him in a competent bench offense and he'll still be a net positive on defense and offense, which is rare for a guy that young. It's just because he understands the game. I agree with your point on the preseason. I think the big thing is we don't have any expectations for the season. There's no expectations. We don't have a guy who's ever been. I don't think our roster has one guy on it that's ever been an All-Star this year. Yeah. So we have no All-Stars. Besides DJ, I don't think any of our guys have ever won a legitimate award. I know Thad Young's, won Hustle Player of the Year, which matters. But as far as league recognized awards, we don't have anybody that's really done anything besides DJ when he made the All-Defensive team. We don't really have anybody with any expectations on them. So it allows for our guys to be a lot more free, or play a lot more free, because really they could do anything. I think that's why we're putting so much value into preseason this year, is because we're just seeing what we have. We have no clue. This team could win 30 games next year. I'd be like, well, it's a bad year, but am I shocked? No, not really. We could win 47 games or 50 games even if we dial in. I'd be like, wow, they surpassed my expectations, but this is what I would hope for in the best case scenario with the guys that we've drafted and the guys that we have on the squad. Yeah. So, it's exciting because there's just so many question marks that we don't have any answers to. And really, we're just going to have to give it time. We're just going to have to give it time to see what happens with a lot of these guys and where they end up. Yeah. And the one thing that's concerning to me, I just want to bring this up real quick. Mm-hmm. The one thing that is concerning to me is what are we doing with the shooting guard position on this team? I have no clue. And all I see at that position is more question marks than, any other position on our team right now.
The shooting guard position?
I have no clue what we're doing with it. Do we start Derek White? Do we start Lonnie Walker?
I don't.
How does that?
I've been saying this, and people Spurs fans don't really agree. I don't start Britton. I mean, I'm sorry. Obviously, you don't start Brent Forbes. I don't start Derek White, and that's coming from a Derek White stan. I don't think it's necessary, and I think it's kind of counterproductive to start him. We could really just utilize him rocking that second unit. I saw some really good chemistry between him and Jock Landale. Yeah, I mean, the bench is basically full of shooters. Like, whoever's coming off the bench, we're going to have some shooters, whether it be Brent Forbes, whether it be, Doug McDermott to start, but whether it be, if Luka gets to playing time, Drew Eubanks, like, he'll have a lot of people to play with. And I think that Derek White will be able to utilize that more than even if you wanted, like, a Lonnie Walker running the second unit. And also, I think Lonnie Walker, especially this past game, how he approached the game, how aggressive he was on the offensive end, I think that's perfectly fine. But I would much rather him start with Dejounte Murray. And even though I think you're losing a little bit as far as defense, it's all about balance. Lonnie Walker's still a good defender, but you'll have a point guard coming off the bench that's also a very good defender. So I never agree with Derek White being shooting guard. I think when the game gets down to the wire, or fourth quarter, or some point in the game, you put Derek White out there with DeJounte, and they'll be perfectly fine. I like their defense together out there. I did see some pretty nice, teamwork. I saw some double teams where it was like, oh, okay, that was pretty nice. And Derek White's so fast, they passed out of the double team, and he was even able to still contest the other guy's shot across the court. But with that being said, that's my thoughts. I think Derek White needs to come off the bench as a power forward. Lonnie Walker started shooting guard, and I think backing up Lonnie coming off the bench should be Devin Vassell as shooting guard. That's why I would go with that. And it's I was gonna say and then Josh Primo. Hopefully he can play. I don't know. He's just in the air. I don't know where you put him. I don't know. He can play whatever. I don't know.
Did you say that you should bring Derek White off the bench as a power forward?
No. Did I say that? I meant point guard.
Yeah, you did. I got what you meant.
Yeah. No, point guard.
You're good. I've been in that boat for a long time. Before we even had a Primo, I've been saying that, you should use Derek as a really solid shooter, a really solid sixth man off the bench who can run the offense off the bench. I don't think you can bench DJ at this point. So you start him, and then right now Lonnie it's a prove it year for Lonnie. I think the Spurs realize this. Putting Lonnie in a position in which he's coming off the bench really doesn't help him in any kind of way right now. It doesn't really help him, and it doesn't really help his development in a way in which it can help the team. When the entire problem with Lonnie is his confidence kind of waxes and wanes throughout the season, and usually he begins the season pretty strong, relatively pretty strong. He has some performances which is really eye-popping. It's like, wow, he could really be something. And then by the end of the year, he kind of shells up. He kind of is just playing a role on the team versus trying to initiate and create his own offense. And then you see him pass up shots out of self-doubt. And we've noticed this trend for the last few years, which is why Spurs fans will keep saying, Lonnie Walker has so much promise. Lonnie can be this. Lonnie can be that. But he hasn't really had the opportunity because he hasn't really allowed himself to be that. If that makes any sense.
Well, yeah. And this season, I mean, at least from the game that I watched, this past game, it looks like Lonnie Walker was way more confident. I mean, he continued to shoot. He didn't get down on himself, even though he went 1 for 7. He created space. He was aggressive. He was trying out some new things. You can tell that his dribbling is much more smooth, like you said earlier. So I don't know. I think, yeah, that was a problem before, but his role on the team was so much different when you're dealing with LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. No Spurs fan really liked that offense where we have to, even though they could score it, no one liked it. No one liked okay, everybody ISO, here you go, DeMar. Okay, everyone ISO, here you go, LA. Like, no one liked it. And Lonnie Walker's role basically was either catch and shoot, catch, drive, pass it out. That was it. And now it's like, okay, now you have the opportunity to be a shot creator. I wouldn't be surprised if this next game, Lonnie puts up numbers. I really wouldn't be surprised if he goes into this next game and he has 20 points because it's there. It's just a matter of hitting the shots. Like, that's the only time that I feel down on a player is if they're like either afraid to shoot or they're not necessarily I don't know. It just looks like they're afraid of the moment or they're not doing everything fundamentally to be successful. That's why I'm not even getting on to Jock Landale because fundamentally I think he's a good defender. I don't get on to Brent Forbes because for the most part, Brent Forbes is there. Like, he's moving his feet. He's trying hard. He has to try harder than most guys because of his size, but he's there. I don't get mad at him too often. And I know people will say, well, afraid to shoot. What about Ben Simmons? And I would say Ben Simmons is just so elite on so many other levels too. You have to figure that out. But no. To sum up what I'm saying, I think Lonnie Walker, the opportunity's there. I think his role is completely different. And I don't think you got to be kind of, I mean, when you're Lonnie Walker and it's a guy like all Spurs fans say you need to just let it release him. Trying to fit into that role, we're so accustomed to, Spurs system. It works for everybody. But like somebody like, Manu Ginobili, that never should have worked. Like Manu Ginobili should have never worked with the Spurs. So it's possible. No. It's just hard to find your place. What was that?
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, and that's the position that he's being put into right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lonnie I know what the Spurs are gonna do. They're gonna use the preseason as a confidence booster, and expecting those first few games, they're gonna be calling his number a lot, and that's just to get him comfortable with assuming a bigger role in the offense. And trying to get his feet wet as far as trying to be, even if he's not the main scorer on the team, he should be one of the guys that you go to score. In fact, I even wanted to ask you about that. Who do you think is going to lead us in scoring this year? Who do you expect to be our lead scorer as far as, that type of thing is concerned?
Let me see. Hold on, let me think. Man, after that preseason game, it's gonna be really hard to answer this with a straight face. But I've been saying, okay, I made a video on this, and I said who it should be, but who it probably will be. Who it should be is Lonnie. I think DJ has a lot on his plate. So who it should be is Lonnie Walker. Who it will be is probably DJ. Honestly. I think DJ will probably be it. But then again, I think it's going to be really close. I don't think it's going to be as easy as like, oh, thank you for the super chat, Phil Allen. I can't see your comment. Oh, yeah, I can. 3-team trade with Philly and Houston. Lonnie Walker, Luka, Thad. What? Yeah, that didn't just happen. He's just giving us a suggestion. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, I think it'll be a little more close. I think Dejounte is going to average like 18, 19, probably like 18. I would say 19. And on occasion, he's going to put up, high 20s, low 30s here and there. And I think he'll average it probably with Keldon and with Derek White. I feel like they're all going to be around the same ballpark. But at the end of the day, I think Dejounte Murray will probably have the most. I wouldn't be surprised if Devin Vassell is not that far behind Keldon and Derek White. But it's definitely not a concrete, oh, yeah, this guy is going to score this many points. But I think at the end of the day, if we're going to be successful, especially if we're not going to play Primo or Primo isn't 100% ready, because, I mean, I understand it's just preseason, then if Lonnie doesn't step up, I don't know. I don't have a short leash on players. Like, I love players. I rarely say, oh, get rid of this guy. Like, I rarely do that. But I will be honest, you know, by the end of the season, if I'm like, Lonnie didn't at least average second most points, I think we probably need to sit back and reevaluate that whole situation.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
think that's the scary point for the Spurs front office is I don't think it's hard. And that's a weird thing about the players that we have right now, the position that we're in. And there's actually a player on the roster that I actually want to get into, but I'm gonna push that off until I say this. But yeah, that's the thing with Lonnie is there's so much that can go wrong with Lonnie that it'll be great if everything goes right. Because if everything goes right, okay, good. You go ahead and pay him. You keep him on the roster. And obviously now you have a guy in which, you know, you can play at that shooting guard position, the 2-guard position. You may throw out lineups in which he plays the 3, but he's a reliable guy you can look to score and play defense and do good things on the basketball court. Okay, fine. That's great. But if it doesn't pan out, well, then what happens next? Do you just let him walk? Do you sign and trade him? Do you just cut bait and run from him? I mean, what do you do with him? Because there's other guys who can step in and fill Lonnie's shoes if he does not pan out. I mean, looking at a guy like Devin Vassell, just as an example, looking at Devin Vassell, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Devin Vassell was the lottery pick from last year. And by all metrics, he wasn't outstanding, but he looked solid. That's the number one word I can use with Devin Vassell. Solid. Yeah, solid. Yeah. Nobody talks about Devin Vassell because he's kind of boring as far as a player is concerned.
Yeah.
That was my main complaint about him actually during the draft is a lot of guys had him as a top 5 prospect in the draft. I don't know if you knew that, but a lot of guys I saw him as a top 5 guy on their big boards just because he fits a role incredibly well, which is 3 and D. He can do that.
Yeah.
And he's shown flashes of being able to add a mid-range to his game. So think a bit more athletic Chris Middleton, which if he becomes that, that's great because, you know, he can do that. He can fit that role on your team. And if you look at the position that Chris Middleton plays, it's the 3 and 2, which is the shooting guard small forward positions. So you look at Devin Vassell there, and he has good size, he has good length, and he can be a role player on your team who plays the 2. Well, then you look at Lonnie and you're saying to yourself, okay, what does Lonnie do better than Devin Vassell right now? Lonnie's a better shot creator than Devin, but what does he actually do? And then you look at where Devin...
He's a better passer. That's probably it.
He's a better passer, but here's the thing. Devin plays the 3-2, which is the small forward shooting guard. But Devin also plays right behind Keldon Johnson. You're not going to all of a sudden put at the power forward position just to play Devin at the small forward position because you understand that there's going to be size matches with Keldon trying to play against bigger power forwards. So you keep Keldon at 3. Well, then do you play a guy who you just took in the lottery who shows no real weaknesses in his game style and fits in with that starting lineup? Do you continue to just keep him off the bench, or do you put him at a position which he can play next to Dejounte and Keldon at the shooting guard position?
Right.
You know? So, and then that's not even talking about guys like Wieskamp or Wieskamp. That's not talking about Primo. That's not talking about a guy who I actually want to talk about, which is Trey Jones. That's not talking about any of those guys who kind of, if you put them into the roster, let's say Derek White is coming off the bench. Do you just not play Trey Jones, despite the fact that he was probably our best player in the summer league? Do you not let him show his point guard skills?
Oh, Trey Jones.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I've been a fan of Trey Jones since he was in Duke. He was the point guard playing with Zion and RJ Barrett and was the third best player on that team. At times, he was the second best player on the team behind Zion. He was the main initiator, the main floor general, the main point of attack defender, as in they would put him on the opposing team's best guard. And he would do a good job. I mean, he's a guy who shut down Cole Anthony, who was a lottery pick, and was scoring on him and giving him buckets in college. So you look at a guy like that who, in my opinion, slipped a bit in the draft just because people are unconfident of his jump shot. And you look at what's happened to Trey Jones within the last year or two. Trey's grown 2 inches, which nobody saw coming, and now he's 6'3". He's put on more muscle mass, and he's improved his jump shot to the point in which he can reliably hit open three-point shots, which was the main concern. So you look at a guy like that who's fully capable of being your backup point guard, and then you look at Derek White. If you don't start Derek, then you run him as a shooting guard off the bench, who's mainly the main play initiator, but he's essentially your sixth man. Well, then what does that do for Primo, and how does it affect certain rotations coming off the bench? Because you ideally would want to play Trey Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tough one. I don't know. I don't know what you do with Trey Jones.
He's the main player that's been bugging me for the last few weeks. Looking at this roster, I'm like, there's guys on the roster who have promise, but there's only a few guys who I can say, yes, if you play them right now, they will contribute in some type of way. Trey Jones, 2 things Trey Jones can do, which is better than just about anybody besides Derek and Dejounte. And that's playmake. I think he's the most natural playmaker on the team. Derek might be, but I think Trey just has a natural eye and passing ability. And as far as defense is concerned, he's a top 5 perimeter defender on the team. I would only say that maybe Dejounte, Devin, and Derek are better than him, and that's just because they're taller and longer. But as far as moving their feet and being able to stay in front of an offensive player, it's Trey. And I think Trey deserves minutes because he is honestly he's not a guy that you don't play. He's a guy that deserves playing time no matter where he's at this point in his career.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's just, I don't know where you put Trey, and I think that you have a really good point where the way our team is set up is just so strange. Do you in that regard, if you keep that in mind, then Derek White would have to be shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the thing. And then here's another weird thing. And then you bring back, first of all, you draft 2 guys who play combo guard positions, right? Mm-hmm. In Wieskamp and Joshua Primo, right?
Yeah.
And they don't really play any other position. They play the shooting guard position, but Primo can convincingly play the point guard. And Wieskamp, I wouldn't ask to play point guard. I would just ask him to play the shooting guard small forward position. Mm-hmm. So if you take those 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
Then you bring back Bryn Forbes, who's also a shooting guard, and he's not playing any other position but shooting guard, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then all of a sudden, you have a super cramped shooting guard position. That if you play Derek White at the shooting guard, and you play, and then you play Lonnie Walker at the shooting guard position, well then who is Joshua Primo, Bryn Forbes, and Wieskamp? And let's hypothetically say Wieskamp's not getting minutes this year. Who is Joshua Primo? Who are they getting their minutes from? Who are they going to eat minutes from? In that hypothetical.
I don't know, man. This is I don't know. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. You don't think I think Trey Jones is just going to be in the G League.
I don't. But that's my thing. If the Spurs do play him in the G League, I think to a certain extent, they're underutilizing him. He's better than G League as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he is. He's gotten way
I
better.
mean, when he was on the court during the summer league, he was clearing away our best player on our summer league squad, and it wasn't really close. In fact, I was shocked that they didn't make him all summer league because he was probably one of the best point guards in the entire summer league, averaging almost 25 points per game and almost double-digit assists, whilst also being good on defense. So you look at that, and he's kind of a guy who should be primed to be your backup point guard, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, just because of his defense and playmaking. I mean, this is a dude who, I don't know if you know his nickname coming out of college. His nickname coming out of college was Trey Stones.
Trey Stones?
Trey Stone, because he has stones.
Oh, wow.
As in, he has balls. That's the way he plays. Is the very... Even the shots he was taking during the summer league, they were tough, high difficulty shots. That game runner he hit, I think against the Hornets on Kyrie Jones, those are the moments in which Trey really shines. So, I would play him. But the question is, if you play him, who on the that's gonna hurt other guys on the roster. I don't know how you manage that guard position because we don't have a lot of homegrown forwards that we really need to cultivate and grow and develop. But we do have a lot of guards that need minutes, and I don't know who they're getting them from. Even if you play positionless basketball, I still don't know who you're gonna give those minutes to.
That's a really good point. But let me ask you this, because I don't know with the Trey Jones situation. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. And it's actually a good problem to have. So it's not like something where I was stressed out about it too much. But like, what about other players? Like, who do you see? Oh, they almost killed me. Oh my goodness, I'm about to die. Oh, it's like laggy on my screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be laggy. I don't know how you fix that problem, but
I have to fix it. I have to play something else. That's how I fix it. Oh, what I was gonna say was, okay, so who would you get rid of? Because somebody got to go. I think at least one player got to go.
I've been saying this for the longest time that this roster, and it's not because I don't dislike anybody on the roster. But I've been saying for the longest time, the Spurs need to trade. It's not because they have to trade, but it's because they have to trade, if that makes any sense. They don't, technically speaking, have to trade just to trade, just to get somebody. But at the same time, there's too much redundancy on their roster.
Yeah.
At certain positions that somebody's not going to eat and somebody's not going to be fed the minutes that they deserve or contribute in a way in which it would benefit the team like they can. There's only a few guys on this roster that I think stay no matter what. I don't really see the Spurs trading Dejounte because even though I know some guys say that, he has a fake tough guy persona or a fake alpha dog persona, at the same time, how many guys have you seen in the NBA who are willing to assume that type of persona or that type of personality? A lot of guys shy away from that entire thing, right? So when you see a guy who's willing to do it, even if it's fake, even if it's to the detriment of somebody, he's willing to take on that type of persona. So you don't trade somebody like that. You keep him on your roster, even if he's not your best player, because he'll at least help drive and keep guys in order on your roster. So DJ, I don't see them trading. I don't see them trading Keldon because Keldon is very much so untapped as far as what his ceiling is. We have no clue what his ceiling is. He could become anything at this point. At some points in the season, he looks like a baby Charles Barkley with his ability to rebound, be tenacious on boards, driving the paint, impose his will on people with his athleticism and his ability to put the ball on the floor despite being a bulkier player. In the preseason, we just saw him hit a post fadeaway, which if you had told me you hit a post fadeaway, I would have said I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because who would believe that's in his back?
You talking about Keldon?
I'm talking about Keldon.
Keldon hit a few of those last season.
He hit a few of those, but it's not a go-to shot for him.
Oh no, not by any means.
But the thing is that he's treating it, at least in that postseason. If he's doing it like that, I wouldn't be shocked if he tried to make it in Q4, right?
I don't remember him shooting that and missing it. He might have missed it like once. He did it quite a few times. I don't know. That's like kind of his go-to a little bit, but it was much more silkier than it was.
Yeah. It's usually he uses, from what I saw at Keldon, usually it's a counter move for him. If somebody cuts off his drive, he'll go into the post and do it, just as a counter move. But so essentially you're not trading Dejounte, you're not trading Keldon. I don't think you trade Devin at this point because you still don't know what you have with him, and he's been so solid for your roster. Whoever you do bring in probably you would want to put Devin around them. So, there's a few. So then that leaves guys like Derek, that leaves guys like Trey, that leaves guys like Lonnie. With Derek, I have no clue what the Spurs are going to do with Derek. Honestly, I don't know if they keep him for a long term or if they trade him.
Derek White?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do with Derek White. I think Derek, if you were to trade for a high caliber player, I think you try to sell somebody on Derek White. Just because I don't want to say he's the most expendable player on your team, but he kind of is. Just because he can do so many things. And I think he could benefit a playoff roster more than just benefiting us right now. If that makes any sense.
Well, that's true. I think, like, obviously the whole 76ers thing, sorry, the whole 76ers thing, I know that they would definitely probably end up taking both our guards because that's what they would need. But here's the thing. I think that there's still utility in Derek White. Like, I feel like when it's all said and done, we'll be able to see that we really do need Derek White because he was one of the most important pieces over the last few years. I don't see any new additions to the point where I can actually make a confident statement that he's not as important as he was, last season. Maybe not. I don't know. I think he's probably even more important now that DeMar's gone, and we're gonna need even more of a group effort.
No, I agree with that. I mean, he could do anything at this point. I mean, how crazy would it be if Derek White's averaging 20 points a game? I wouldn't be shocked because I know he can do it, but it's like, he's never been asked to do it before.
Yeah.
So it's sky's the limit for what Derek can do. The guy who I see us trading the most, Lonnie Walker, it's not particularly close. Just because, even though he has a lot of promise, point blank, there's other guys on your roster that can do what he does currently on your team. Now we're gonna see if they're asking him to create more for himself or be a bigger focal point of the offense. But if he's failing at doing that, I don't see how they keep him past this season. Personally, I think if you're trying to, I don't know, let's say, I don't even really want to go with the Ben Simmons thing because we've talked about it so many times. And I know some people I know Spurs fans especially, they get sick of hearing about Ben Simmons. But if you were to trade for a guy, let's say hypothetically speaking, Ben Simmons, realistically speaking, you would probably throw Lonnie Walker in that trade just as a guy who you can sell another team on his promise. And, you throw, you throw a package of Lonnie Walker, who's not going to be the main player that you're trading. You're probably throwing him alongside 1 to 2 other guys, and then you're throwing picks in the trade. And then really the big thing that I say for the Spurs when it comes to what the team needs, they need a guy who just raises their ceiling. That's about it. That's the main concern. That's the reason why ESPN or certain media heads are saying that we'll be a bottom 2 team in the league next year, which I don't think happens, but I can see their reasoning because we have a lot of guys who have, let's say, they give us a high floor, but we don't really have a guy who raises our ceiling to such an extent that we can convincingly beat a 7th, 6th, 5th seed in the West.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of I think we do make a trade some point throughout the season. I don't know on what. And if it was Ben Simmons, I'd like to see it because, I do think this team is kind of built around a guy who would be good with the pieces that we have. I think Ben Simmons would thrive on our roster, honestly, just because of the pieces that we have. But, who knows what we end up doing.
Yeah. What did he say? Playing straight up playing? Dude, I think, hold on, I need to exit out of this game. Because real talk, it was messing up my entire, stream. Everything was just, I don't know.
I mean, it's mad choppy on my end, but.
Yeah, no, it was choppy too. My camera was even choppy. It looks like I just can't play Overwatch on here. I guess it's just too demanding. Everything else seems fine. I'm gonna try Fall Guys in a minute. Hey, give me 1 second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, don't be dropping any N words or F slurs on the live stream.
I mean, I'll try my best. I am a proponent of those words.
As soon as I leave, I'll be right back.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right.
Hello.
Dang, impeccable. You weren't talking to the chat?
Shoot, what am I supposed to say?
Oh my goodness. See, somebody say you must be taking a. See, bro, why didn't you? Oh my god. We lost half the audience.
Listen. I could carry, but at the same time, I would have to use a certain few words.
God, you freaking LeBron James. I'm Kyrie out here doing everything for you.
Listen, you're right.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see if this works, guys. I need to experiment with what I can play. Obviously, I can play GameCube, Wii, Nintendo 64. That doesn't mess up my stream. But at this point, yes, Overwatch is too much. One day I'll just have to get a stronger graphics card, or it might just be Blizzard. But I'll probably just need a better graphics card. So, but it's okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know my stream, my Steam stuff. Please. That's not the password. How about that? That's not the password. Is that the password? That wasn't the password. Okay. I don't know my Steam password.
Sounds like you're struggling a bit.
I am struggling.
That's real unfortunate.
Yeah.
Everything go over there, Clan?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the password. Okay. You see. Let's see. All right. I just saw a message where Clan go. Someone ain't gonna get paid if everybody develops nicely. Then we gotta make hard decisions. Sure. Come on. I don't eat pizza, man. Oh, I see the thing that popped up. Like, golly.
What's that?
It's like Streamlabs gives you like some errors. Like if you're having a lot of
Mm.
errors, and yeah, I got like 8. I got like 8 errors.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was not the best.
All right, I don't think I'm doing it. Wait, let me see. Did anything pop up? Yeah, I don't think I'm doing any more gaming. Yeah, we gotta figure something out. I would love to play Ocarina of Time, but dude, Nintendo's taking down streams of it.
Yeah, they're very protective of that soundtrack.
That's so stupid.
It's a beautiful soundtrack, but I mean,
It's so stupid. Like I just don't understand it.
No, me neither.
Let me see. Let me look at my my list of stuff. Yeah, see what I could play. Not tonight, but let's see. Do you don't have a PC, right? We talked about this, I think.
Yeah, I do.
Like a gaming PC?
I have a gaming laptop, so I use it for whenever I'm gaming on my I can game on here. So
you got a gaming laptop?
Yeah,
bro. What are we doing? What are we doing?
What you mean?
Why don't
What you mean?
Why don't we hop on an emulator?
I mean, I could.
Yeah. We can do like a party night. Well, I don't know when we could do it. It have to be no. Can you go Thursday? What you doing Thursday?
Yeah, probably can do it Thursday.
Let's do a gaming. Let's do it. Gaming night.
Yeah, I'm done.
Let me see if Harrison can do it. We should do like a Mario Party thing.
Mario. Yeah, that'd be fun. We can do that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff we can do. But yeah, Mario Party, man. We can play Mario Party. I didn't even know you had a gaming laptop.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking to you on right now.
East Coast said, wait, how can you play together? Well, let me show you. So, this is called an emulator, okay? In emulators, you can play all types of games. You just download the, what's it called? Is it called the Rod? I forget. But you download the game, you put it on your emulator, and what you can do is, I believe it's an option here somewhere. I don't know the option, but there is a way to go in here and I can set it up where me and him can play. Now the thing about it is, since it's crazy because I know you're like, oh, this is a GameCube game, or these old games, how can you play with somebody in a different state or whatever? Well, it's set up where you kind of make a party, and when we start playing, it will be similar to, like, I think he would need my IP address or something, but it will be similar to if Impeccable was right here with me. So it will be split screen if we played a split screen game. But if we were doing like Double Dash and we're on the same team, or we were doing Mario Party, then it wouldn't be a split screen. But it would be like it's couch co-op. That's what it would be like. So that's how we can do it. But this emulator is really cool, and they allow you to do stuff like that, where you can play with other people online, even though, they're old games. So like, we could do NBA Street if we wanted to. Like that's how it's set up.
Yeah, Street Volume 2 is my game.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Mario Party would be perfect. I had turned down the music for it. I guess I don't know if they taken down Mario Party.
They might. I mean, Nintendo's striking everybody for everything nowadays.
Yeah. Unless we did like old, like I'm okay with old Mario Party, like Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3. But either way, yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure out a day. I want it to be something special though, man. Like, what should it be called? Like, what could we be doing on that day?
Well, I guess would you want to, I don't know, would you want to do like a Q&A type thing?
Yeah, Q&A would be cool. Are there any, which I don't really have any that I got in mind, but are there any like charities that you want to support?
Shoot, I would have to write down the list. Well, I could do that probably sometime Thursday, midday Thursday, probably.
Oh, okay, whenever you want to. I mean, I was just thinking maybe it could be a charity stream and like have people.
It could be a charity stream. Charity stream would be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. We'll see. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Well,
getting about that time.
Yep. Well, thanks for having me, Clay.
Yeah, man. Last night I was on until like almost 4 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Like I was around and I was like, man, you going on tonight?
Yeah, I get kind of obsessed, so I got to set boundaries with myself.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I got you.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem. I'll catch you on Thursday, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Now that that loser's gone, I'm just kidding. How y'all doing? I want to learn that. That's dope. I use the PS2. Yeah, I think I don't know if you can do it with that one. He said finally free. I don't know if you can do it with that one, but I don't know. Which emulator do you use, Clan? I use Dolph. I got quite a few. Hold on, I'll show you. Here it is. Up here. Oh, you can't see it. You can't see it. But it's a Nintendo 64 emulator. It's a PlayStation 2 emulator, a Dreamcast emulator, a GameCube and Wii emulator, Xbox emulator, but that one doesn't work. I'll probably do the Dreamcast emulator here and there. I think that'll work. Man was just nodding and saying yeah to my talking points. I'm kind of sleepy, man. I'm sorry. All right, guys. I'll get with you guys later. I appreciate all the support. Thanks for the super chat. Also, if anybody wants to support the channel and become a patron, it's only $2. So if you want to become a patron for $2 a month, the link is in the description. It really does help the channel a lot. Yeah, it helps the channel a lot. Or you can become a YouTube member. That's a way to support the channel as well. But the link is in the description for that. It's $2. So yeah, I appreciate the love. And it's a monthly giveaway each time too if you want to support. But link in the description for that. I'll give it to you guys later. But yeah, deuces. I'm tired. I'm sorry, guys. I know it was a bad stream the last like 30 minutes because I was just so out of it. But all right, y'all. Peace.